Good morning, everybody. Dzień dobry. Right. Hope we're all well today. Fourth Sunday Advent. So quite nicely. Hopefully you can see that. Can you see? No? There we are. All 4 candles burning today. So good morning, Ola. Morning, Dominica. Morning, Gosha. Morning, Sonia. Dzień dobry. Morning, Monica. Jacek. Morning, Zuzia. Or Justin. Morning, Asha. Morning, Anna. Zosia, Simon, Kasia, Łukasz, and Shimon. Christmas is coming. Right, my thought for thankfulness today on a bit of a blowy Sunday morning. My thought was really drawn to a battlefield of the First World War. And I really had a strong image in my mind of what a battlefield really looks like. So if you think back, maybe you've seen pictures of a battlefield that is strewn with shell craters and shattered trees and mud. And actually, it looks like on that battlefield, and at that time, if you were to be put there, you would think there's absolutely no hope of anything being restored. I know when we're in those times of battles in our own life, our life can really look like that battlefield. And it's hard work to walk through the mud. Our boots are full of mud and our feet are wet and rotting. And we're looking, we just look around us as far as the horizon, and it's the same landscape. A battlefield. And my thought then turned to, especially the First World War, of the poppy growing out of the ground, out of the mud. And it's amazing that as countries we took the poppy on to symbolise that bloodshed, that loss of life, that the poppy almost grew out of the ground because it was stained with blood, but the poppy grew because the ground had been churned up. And those battlefields, when they came silent, were covered in poppies. And thinking about this time in the early parts of the First World War is when there was the truce at Christmas. There was a desire, even when people were slaughtering each other every day, there was actually a desire in their heart, by singing carols, the good news of Christmas. There was a desire in the heart for reconciliation. There was a desire in their heart to go and extend that friendship handshake to an enemy who a few minutes earlier were trying to destroy them. And yet, that peace and that grace of Christ being born at Christmas is enough to reconcile the most brutal of conflicts, if we allow him to be born in our hearts. And if we went back to those battlefields today in the Somme and the other places in France and Belgium, we would definitely see that the landscape was irreparably changed from what it originally was before that war, and we'll see the scars. But new hope grew out of it all. People started to recultivate the land. People came back and settled there and lived and have had families. And I think that message today for me of thankfulness is, it doesn't matter how scarred the landscape is, how shattered the trees are around us with brutal hand-to-hand fighting or shells, is that there is the hope of reconciliation. There is the hope that Jesus brings at this time of year, of rebirth, of renewal, of thankfulness that we can put the guns down, or we can reach and come out of those places in our life that we're entrenched and set in, that we're never going to come out of, that we make the effort to put the guns down and we climb out of those trenches and we extend that hand of friendship, that sorry, that please forgive me, that Christ brings to each of our hearts at Christmas. And every day, but this time especially, that we can start again in all things. And I'm really thankful that God gave me that image. It may not seem Christmassy. Maybe I should be talking about snowflakes falling and pretty winter landscapes. But the reality is, life isn't like that. It's not pretty. Life is life. Life is something to be lived. But life is not to be entrenched in our own places that we don't seem to want to get out of. And I'm truly thankful for that, because through Christ, it helped me slowly climb out of that trench to want to make that reconciliation in so many things in my life. How many times have I slipped in the mud and slipped back into it? In tears, in sorrow, in shame and bitterness, all those things that held me in that trench. And I want to keep climbing out. And I want to tell you today to keep trying to climb out. Because however you climb out of that trench and you see that battlefield in front of you, those poppies are going to grow. And you can't stop them. The grass will come and recultivate it. You can't stop it. That's creation. And that's Christmas. The child came into the world, into a land that was occupied, a people under oppression, no free movement. Every place you turned, there was the footstep of the Roman occupation. We have the same today in our own lives. And I really want to say today, yes, Lord, I want to keep climbing out of those trenches, climbing over, not to fight you, but to extend that hand out of friendship, of forgiveness. So that's my thought for today. 4th week of Advent. What a thought, eh? A battlefield. But that's what really came to me. And I think it's really, for me, I think it really shows the desire that God has for each and every one of us, that he never forgot any of us, and every life is important. because he is that God of restoration that will restore everything better than it ever could have been. So let's have a quick look if I've picked everybody up. Said hello. So morning Wukash, morning Agnieszka, Carolina. We'll read some comments in a minute. Morning Kasia again. Hope you're feeling better, Shriman, today. A little bit anyway. Right, so Damien's put here. And when you will be climbing up, remember we are always there to give a helpful hand because God stands us together, hand to hand, yeah? We need to help each other. Definitely. Definitely. And Dollars put, yeah, God is like that. He never gave up on me, even though I was broken, bitter, and resentful. And he never gave up and never will give up on any of us. And how we want to, and how, let's say we, I'm going to say me, how I judge God in so many ways by my own failings. And I think we can all take that hope today. That hope that even in wars, even though they may last for years, there will be an end and there will be a new beginning. And I'm truly thankful for that today. Because war's going to come in our lives, all of us. We might be in war now. We might even be, some of us hand-to-hand combat, but war will end. And war will end when we decide in our own hearts to put down the gun. And only we can decide, not what the enemy, what we're waiting for an enemy to stop. No, we decide. We say no. No more. No more. So I'll finish with a prayer. Almighty ever-living God, why do we try so hard to change things and fight with you when we think our ways are better? When we think we know where we are and what we're doing? I pray for that grace for every heart today. Every heart that can just sit down today in quiet and peace and say, Jesus, I truly trust in you. That we surrender our own battles and our own plans to you. That grace fills our hearts today. And we can just breathe out that tension, that stress that we put upon ourselves. Why? Because we're constantly not listening and we're constantly fighting to get our own point across. In a few days, in a manger, in a stable that was damp and dirty, and only straw to lay down your son in. He came and saved us from ourselves. And I don't want to forget that. And I pray every heart doesn't forget that you came, Jesus, to save us from ourselves. Because we need saving. We need saving. And give us the eyes to see around us. For every heart today that needs a touch because he needs saving. Amen. So thank you for listening today. I will see the other side of Christmas Someone's asking me here, am I Polish or English? I am English on a Polish channel. And I'll see you after Christmas, and I hope you have a really blessed time. I know that God is working with each and every one of us, and please don't lose hope. Anybody in that battle or on that battlefield and they go, my word, nothing can grow. It can. There's a new season coming, a new time coming, and that hope is Christ. So all have a lovely, wonderful Christmas, and God bless you all, and I will see you later. And thank you for your lovely comments. Thank you very much. God bless you. Bye-bye.